I always talk longer than I think I'm going to talk. So, when we talk about acquiring a new language, that the amount of time that can take can vary on a lot of different factors. For example, the age when the child starts a new language, the amount of formal school years, and as I just said in the previous video, the more language and literacy they have in their native language, the better. Um, Conversation that they've got conversational letters or language helps in inherent rate, which some children just learn faster. That's just kind of human nature. Some children will have a high degree of proficiency in their first language, as I said, do better in their second language. And also the quality and quantity of English exposure helps facilitate that process. Um, some things you need to know the difference between BICS and CALP. BICS is called Basic Interpersonal Communication Systems. So basically that's, or skills, that's basically playground language. BICS is going to happen faster than CALP. CALP is the Cognitive Academic Language Proficiency. It says most ELLs take years to develop the level of academic English proficiency required for full participation. So your basic that communication with colleagues or friends and classmates is going to happen before that academic. So BICS happens before CALP. ELL students need to develop receptive language. That's when they understand. When you receive language, it's, given directions. They also need to taught expressive language. That's what's pushing out of them so they can express themselves in and out of classrooms. Students need to be taught expressive language, comprehensible output so they can answer questions, participate in discussions, and be successful. Receptive language happens first, and then we have to teach them expressive language so that they can communicate outward. It's the best way to think about that. So how do we do that? And I am going to click through that. Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to create a supportive classroom. We have to establish a welcome environment. We have to make an effort to learn words or two of encouragement in their home language so that children feel welcome. And this can be hard, especially here in Maine, where you have a lot of African dialects. So it's not just Spanish and French. There are so many different types, and not just African. There's Farsi, there's Arabic. So trying to learn a couple of words is really important. You need to respect a child's primary language and culture. You need to encourage students to play and play with language as well. You have to model things through read-alouds to help them develop the vocabulary. Students need direct instruction in comprehension and vocabulary skills. And also, especially in learning English, because a lot of our language is phonetical, unlike Japanese or Chinese, or letters that are not, or languages that are symbol-based, we are phonetic-based language. So we really have to help kids develop the phonological awareness and the phonemic development through things like small group instruction, encourage peer interaction, making personal connections with vocabulary and texts. They need a lot of visuals because that receptive language that just isn't going to be enough. So if you say the word pencil, you want to hold up a pencil, or this would be a pen. You would say, get your marker or highlighter. So they need a lot of visuals. They need repetition. They need a lot of scaffolding and tons of language-rich activities, read-alouds, games, songs. You're immersing them in the language. High expectations. Don't dumb things down for them. They will learn if you keep those expectations high. Positive relationships, collaboration, differentiate, celebrate their successes, even when they're small. Respect all languages and cultures, and share and celebrate cultural differences in your classroom. So some other things, I'm going to skip the adolescent because you guys aren't, is sufficient wait time. It's going to take them longer to process that receptive language. Emphasizing key vocabulary. Assume they don't have it, so help them with that. Use a lot of manipulatives and concrete examples.